All right, class, we're continuing with long division. This is chapter 4.6 of Algebra 1. Here we have a new problem where in our denominator we have two terms. So we go about these the same way, we just make sure to include our second term. Here's how. So when we rewrite our problem, we look at this the same way. We have a leading x in our denominator, we have a leading x squared in our numerator. And so the question becomes, what do I multiply by x in order to get x squared? So it turns out to just be x. So now x times x gives me an x squared, but I can't forget this 3, so I'm just going to multiply this out. X times 3 is 3x. Now I'm going to be sure to place my 3x under the term that has just the x, and now I have to minus both. And I end up just getting x. X squared minus x squared is 0. 4x minus 3x gives me an x, and then I'm going to bring down my 3, sorry. And now I have an x plus 3. Very convenient. X plus 3 here, x plus 3 here. It's just going to be a 1, right? I just have to multiply 1 by all of this to get this. Here's my 1. Again, 1 times x will give me x. 1 times 3 will give me 3. And there they are. And just make sure I minus both. So my final answer is x plus 1. Okay, here's my new problem. 8x squared plus 6x minus 27, all divided by 2x minus 3. All right, and so here, looking at my 2x and my 8x squared, I'm going to get this question. What do I multiply by 2x to get 8x squared? Divide both sides by 2x, and I'm going to get a 4x. All right, there's my 4x. 4x times 2x gives me 8x squared, and then 4x times negative 3 will give me a negative 12x. Careful with my sign, that's negative, so instead of minusing, I'm going to add this. My 8x squared, I'm going to minus. So I get an 18x. Bring down my 27. Okay, so now my 2x has to become an 18x. I believe a 9 is going to work. Now when I write my 9, I make sure to write my 9 above the term without the x. So 9 times 2x. And 9 times negative 3 will give me negative 27. When I minus this and add this, I'm going to get a 0. So my final answer will be 4x plus 9. That will be my final answer. All right, here's our next problem. 9a cubed minus 3a squared minus 3a minus 4 divided by 3a plus 2. All right, so rewritten like so, I see I need a 3a to become a 9a cubed. As it turns out, I'm going to need a 3a cubed. So I'm going to make sure to put that over my term with my a cubed. And honestly, that's not a big deal, but it's nice to keep track. This times this gives me this. This times this gives me 6a squared. I'm going to minus both. Here's what I get. Now bring down my 3a and start again. 3a has to become a negative 9a squared. After doing my side work, that means I'm going to need a negative 3a. Negative 3a times 3a gives me my negative 9a squared. My next term will be a negative 6a. When I minus my negatives, I turn out to add them. These go away. My negative 3a and my 6a just become a 3a. All right, at this point, my two leading terms are 3a, so I'm just going to need a 1. With my 1, I'm just going to repeat my 3a plus 2, but then I have to minus that. Now I end up with a negative 6 down here, so my final answer might look a little strange. Let's see. Alright, so here's what I have here. Everything on top plus my remainder divided by my denominator. I can clean this up just a little bit. I'm going to cancel... I'm just going to bring out my negative sign. Alright, and here I go here. No more canceling can be done, so this, folks, this is my final answer. Alright, here is my next problem. I've already rewritten it. So I need to take a look at turning my x into a 4x cubed. Now at this point, I would expect after a few practice problems, you should know by now, we're going to need a 4x squared. When I multiply my 4x squared by x, I get my 4x cubed, multiplying my 4x squared by my 3. I get a 12x squared. I'm going to minus both. That's going to leave me with a negative x squared. Now I'm going to drop down my negative 8x. and start again. It looks like I'm going to need a negative x to get my x to be a negative x squared. Here I've skipped through. All right, going through that, here's what I have left. So now my x is going to have to be a negative 5x, so it looks like negative 5 will work. All right, this is what I get, so I'm going to minus these two. It turns out I'm going to end up adding them. Tough to see here, but I ended up with a 5 down here. So my final answer is 4x squared minus x minus 5 plus 5 divided by x plus 3. And that is my final answer. All right, that was long division. See you next time, class. Thanks for hanging in.